complicated.
Yeah, sure.
Providing no trackability, data analytics and reporting sometimes out of the question. Did you know the purchasing process alone can take almost 40% of a chef's time, and you think he or she is cooking all the time? No.
I do have chef friends.
They're ordering. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. The F&B industry is facing a huge challenge, as 50% of restaurants in Singapore, they usually close down within the first 3 years.
Pretty sad.
Digitalization and productivity optimization definitely ways to equip our F&B entrepreneurs to maneuver the challenges better.
Okay, so there's an app really that can help them. It's a mobile platform to allow chefs to use data and trends to purchase smarter and save some time and not spend 40% of his time ordering food. Let's speak with some of these developers who really know about this. Keith Tan, Chief Product Officer, and also Caleb Lai, Chief Operating Officer of Zeemart. Caleb and Keith, good morning, and thank you for coming into the studio.
Morning.
Morning.
So Zeemart is the name of your company. Can you tell us how that came about? I see Zebra and I see eMart. Tell us.
Hi. So Zeemart was conceptualized as a B2B platform that connects restaurants and suppliers. And the name Zeemart actually, like you correctly mentioned, the zebra is black and white. And we found that through our research, there is a lot of, it's not extremely transparent the way things are being done. So we wanted to bring some black and white, and that's why the zebra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So clever.
That's nice. That's nice. So we talked about some of the challenges in the F&B industry, but could you highlight for us how serious these challenges are?
So I think you correctly pointed out earlier on that the chefs really spend a lot of time doing non-cooking activities.
Crazy.
And you mentioned the amount of suppliers.
Yeah.
So the challenges, I think, with chefs was around trying to optimize how they did things in the back kitchen. We didn't want them to waste time contacting suppliers because it was a very disaggregated way of working in the back kitchen.
Right.
So you talked about 20, 30 suppliers. The way they would communicate with these suppliers, there were 6 modes of communication the last time we counted.
Yeah,
so WeChat, WhatsApp, phone calls, SMS, fax, email, you name it, there's a process, right? So if you can imagine that for them to contact these suppliers to order through 6 modes of communication.
I don't want that job.
How difficult it is to actually aggregate data, to track costs, to manage how much you're spending in the back kitchen. That's a real issue that they face.
We've been hearing Caleb Lai, there, the COO of Zeemart. Keith Tan's also here, the Chief Product Officer. So tell us, what's your solution then to these challenges, guys?
Yep. So with Zeemart, basically, it's a mobile application. Which imagine if you're a chef or you're a restaurant manager, you open up the app and you have all your suppliers there. So anything for your meat suppliers to your fruit suppliers, your vegetable suppliers, everything is there. You just select the items that you want, the day that you want, and it sends an order straight to the supplier.
Okay.
So having done it for about a year plus now out in the market, we've learned that there are many different variables that you need to take into consideration when you place an order. It could be whether the supplier actually delivers to your outlet on that day. There's a minimum order value, so otherwise there's a delivery charge. There are minimum order quantities for each item. So these things are all in the minds of the chef right now. So imagine you have 20 suppliers, you're buying maybe 1,000 of our products. You can't have all that data in your brain. So so right now you're sending your order through a WhatsApp, and there's a lot of back and forth because sometimes the supplier would say, oh no, you didn't meet the minimum order value, or we don't deliver tomorrow. So then there's tremendous amount of back and forth. So with Zeemart, all that is done through the app. So all the validation is done. So the order just goes out straight to the supplier. It's very clean. There's no miscommunication. And as a restaurant operator, you get to see the amount that you're going to be spending on for that order. Which shockingly, most times when you place an order, you don't actually know how much that order is going to be till you get the paper invoice when they deliver the goods.
That's right. If you have to make 6 phone calls or so, you cannot keep track.
So earlier we said how 40% of a chef's time is taken doing all these orders. With Zeemart, could you compare how much time has been saved?
Yeah, I think easily half of that.
So 20%.
I would say easily. So what Keith mentioned just now about the app having all your own restaurant information there. I think the other thing that we really wanted to bring to the chefs was the mobility in terms of ordering. So, and that's why we went the app way, right? Because a kitchen is the last place you want to place a computer terminal to order food from. But also chefs, I think for a lot of chefs, ordering is on their mind almost every time. all the time, all day, every day, right? So we wanted them to be able to order from the comfort of a bus ride to the restaurant, a taxi ride to the restaurant.
Ah, so that's how they can save time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know who to ask this question, to CPO Keith or to COO Caleb. How does Zeemart make your money?
Maybe Caleb can take that question.
So I think before we tackle the money issue, it's really about understanding how we can make sure that people are using the app efficiently, right? Once we start driving orders through the app, and the industry actually finds this to be a worthwhile solution, then I do not think that there would be a problem in terms of monetizing from the other side of the curtain. So we're talking about the suppliers now. Now, so if I were to tell you that the one side of the curtain was the buyers, so those are our restaurants, and the other side is the suppliers. And I now told you that as an ecosystem, when you buy, an e-purchase request or e-purchase order is sent to the supplier.
All right.
The supplier then acknowledges, delivers along with an e-invoice or e-deal, and then Zeemart effects payments through the app from buyer to supplier. That saves a lot of paper, number one. It saves a lot of time, but it also solves that problem in the industry of collection.
Right.
Sure.
So-
And then, of course, you're in the middle there to collect the tolls.
Something like that.
I see. Now I know how you make your money. All right. What's the take-up rate so far, and what's the feedback?
We have close to 1,000 restaurants that are
Nice.
using Zeemart right now. So, initially, like any new technology that you bring to industry, there's always going to be a bit of resistance, especially for the food industry, because they've been doing things for decades, right? But we have a really committed group of community managers. So think of them as account managers. They go down there, they handhold the chef, they teach them how to use the app. We do actually training. So training started from about 30 minutes initially, but right now actually we've gone to like 5 to 10 minutes. We just show the chef and the staff, and because they're also pretty young, they're very savvy, so they really take to Zeemart really very easily. So within a week of placing their orders, they start. It becomes a natural thing. They start to use Zeemart at the start of the day and at the end of the day when they're reviewing their orders for the next day. So we've been really encouraged to see the take-up rate extremely positive for us.
Yeah. We've been speaking to Keith Tan, Chief Product Officer, and Caleb Lai, Chief Operating Officer, both of them from Zeemart. So you got 1,000 restaurants under you guys now. Are you still going to continue the same method where you go to restaurants to pitch the idea, or is there something to get more people on board faster?
Yep. So I think, like most startups, again, you reach that sort of tipping point, and we see ourselves as, because we are like a change agent. A few months we've seen restaurants and suppliers just coming up to us. So every day we're getting lots of inquiries through the website. The product sells itself. So we've gotten to that stage where there's a lot of word of mouth. Of course, we're trying to get more efficient with how we do our sales. We're also putting up a lot more content, a lot of self-help videos, a lot of automation. So getting to that whole, we're building this internet product, and also Zeemart definitely is not just going to be in Singapore. Within the next 6 months, we plan to open up offices in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and in Thailand. Yep. So we look at Singapore really as the way that we sort of establish that SOP. That playbook, which we can bring over to a new market and roll out more efficiently.
Okay. Just want to wrap up by saying that Zeemart is part of IMDA's SG Go digital pilot to revolutionize the F&B industry, and their clients include single restaurants, multi-chain restaurants as well, cafes, caterers, and so much more. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming into the studio to see us.
Thank you very much.
All the very best. Okay, we're 2 minutes from the news here on Money FM 89.3. Another look at sports as well. And in the next hour, the conversations continue on The Breakfast Huddle with Elliot Danker, Yasmin Yonkers, and Ryan Wong.
Your mornings start on the right track with